Only one kid in history had ever attempted what Benny was about to. And he got eaten. So we were worried. Real worried. Even when Benny brought out the secret weapon. Shoes guaranteed to make a kid run faster and jump higher. PF Flyers.
We can't let him do this, man.
All right, welcome back to the Slate Laced podcast. Happy hump day, all that good stuff. We're back with another episode, this time a film review. Blair, how we feeling?
Good.
Good.
I mean, yeah, we're good. We're always good.
Yep, you know how we do it here on the Slate Laced.
Can never not be good.
Exactly. But today we're reviewing Things Heard and Seen. It is the latest Netflix thriller, horror, whatever you want to call it, coming to Netflix. Blair, initial thoughts?
I heard and seen it wasn't good.
You heard it wasn't good?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I don't know. It's just
Initially?
the title of the film. So
Yeah.
I was just joking. No, I don't know. I didn't have any thoughts about it. You told me, you know this. You should know this by now. You told me it was the movie we were watching. I had no clue.
Yeah, but I thought you might have seen the trailer. You might have seen it on the Quay.
Nope, none of it.
Scrolling through.
No scrolling through, no Quay, no trailer scene, no none of that. You just told me it was the film we were watching. When I got the chance, I sat down and started watching it, and then boom. So initial thoughts was nothing.
Yeah.
I was just like, I hope you pick a good one this time. That was really all I was thinking.
For me, I had saw it on the Netflix Quay that it was the new whatever trending movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got the top 10. It was in the top 10. You know how they give you a little preview at the top.
Right.
All that good stuff. I was like, all right, this is the latest installment
Mm-hmm.
here. What we got coming from Netflix. So let's check it out. I knew Amanda Seyfried right away. Obviously, she's been in a ton of stuff. So I was like, all right, let's see what she up to.
Yeah, she was ESPN, right?
Yeah, Mean Girls. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it, really. I mean, I figured it would be something I would be interested in just from looking at the trailer. The fact that it was going to be kind of this like horror film is what my initial thoughts were. So I was interested. I was interested to see it and check it out. And yeah, that got us here to movie review day. So let's go over the synopsis first. So things seen and heard and seen, an artist relocates to the Hudson Valley and begins to suspect that her marriage has a sinister darkness, one that rivals her home's new history. So that doesn't really tell us much. I mean, I guess that is the plot, but I mean, just reading that synopsis, I really wouldn't know much. But it is starring Amanda Seyfried and James Norton. I had seen him before, but I hadn't seen him in a lot of things. Okay. But obviously, Amanda Seyfried, household name, we know. Blair, did you know any of the cast? I mean, obviously, you know Amanda Seyfried. You just shouted out her movie. But James Norton?
Just her.
Yeah, I didn't
He
know.
looked familiar.
He looked familiar, but I was like, ooh, I don't know if I've seen anything he's been in, though. So the cast was decent. I like her. He was all right. He played his role well.
I just noticed what's her name from Sandlot.
Who was from Sandlot?
The mom. What's the name of the mom from Sandlot? She was the lady that was the realtor.
The realtor.
Yeah, the one that first showed the house.
Scotty Smalls' mom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Smalls.
Yeah, I didn't notice her.
Yeah.
But shout out to her getting some roles still. We like to see it.
Roles, yeah.
And shout out to Sandlot.
We love to see it. Yep. Yeah, shout out to our intro.
Yep. Okay, but let's get into the pros and the cons. What do you want to start with?
I guess I can say that the mood was on point then if we're going to start with the pros.
Let's do it.
Because I knew it would be a horror film 10 seconds into the film. So at least you can say, look, if the film even ended up being trash, right? Like at least the mood was there. The mood was right. And it was consistent. And you just knew within within seconds, you're just like, dang, this is the type of film we're getting ready to get. Like, let's go.
Okay.
You know, so I think that's a good positive to basically start with. I think another positive was
That's it? Nothing?
Yeah, I mean it.
Just the tone mood for you?
I want to say that I did. Okay, I got another one. They didn't use any jump cut like scares. They didn't try to jump scare you at all. So I want to say that shout out to them for not doing that, because that's very common now in horror films, and I think me and you have discussed it a couple times on here that like you don't necessarily need to do that to make anyone, you know, feel scared. It's just, you know, like we've said, it's kind of cheap when you do it that way. So again, shout out to them for not doing that and using like the real, like not element of surprise, but like it's true darkness. Mm-hmm. You know, when you can show a character kind of going insane and things like that, or like growing as, you know, when their true colors are starting to show and you're like seeing it unravel and you're just like, dang, this is dark. Yeah. You know, this is scary. Like that's true horror. That's true fear. That's true, you know, yeah, that's just truly scaring somebody versus like, all right, like, let me just turn up the music a little bit and then boom, you know, that somebody just jumps out of a corner, right? Like never once did they do that in this film. And that was one thing that I did like. I did also like that the film had a little creepy vibe to it a little bit, you know, like with that one dream sequence when she was reaching into the sink and was pulling the thing. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, those are probably my favorite things from the film where I'm like, okay, they had solid things working for them. I think that based off the book, you know, it had really good elements. They just needed to put it all together. And I would say that they didn't necessarily put it all together the way I had hoped they did. But it was overall solid. I liked the artwork too. And yeah, I mean, it was cool. I think that it was pretty interesting. And if they had succeeded, it would have been very, very interesting because it had the absolute potential to do that.
Yeah. For me, the pros, Amanda Seyfried's performance, I liked her in it. She was believable in all aspects. I kind of liked her struggle, what she was going through, and just seeing things from her perspective. I liked her performance as well. Also, James Norton did a solid job as well. I mean, I think he kind of had to carry more of the load on this one, I would say, as far as bringing the emotional, backing to the film, but I definitely like the cast there. I like the performances. Not necessarily any of the kids or the other secondary characters. Didn't really feel much from them. But again, I think it's focused more on Amanda Seyfried and James Norton characters. Anyway, I think they did a great job. I think it was also another pro. It was like a unique take. From the trailer, you guys think you can kind of see it's like a ghost story. So I think it's like a unique take on the ghost story with how it plays out. So I guess to sum that up, like it's a unique storyline because it's not what you think. And, obviously we're not going to spoil it here for you. But yeah, it's not this kind of standard run and hide from the ghost type thing. There's a lot more going on there. So I like that as well. It's kind of unique. And the last thing is just, it was decently entertaining. I didn't find myself looking at the clock, wondering when that was going to be over because, I've been doing that. I was decently entertained. Would I say it was straight riveting? No, probably not. But again, entertain me. That's all I ask. So that's it for my pros. Again, it was entertainment, cast performance, and then just a unique storyline there. It's different than what you would think like a horror would be. Blair, cons?
Let's go. Okay. So to piggyback off what you first said that you liked about the film is what I didn't like about the film. I will say that there are moments where the acting was good, but my biggest con for this film was the acting and the writing. It was a little over the top at times, and I figured I'd bring examples because I knew, you probably wouldn't agree with me on this. So there was a particular scene. It was after they were at the. It was after, so it said fall, so we already had the change. And Amanda Seyfried was down at the lake with the babysitters, and they're like laying on the little rafts or whatever and floating in the water, and they're having the whole conversation about temptation. And when they're having the conversation about temptation, the scene ends, and they're walking back, presumably to the house that she's staying at. And everything that was said within that 45 seconds to a minute was like absolutely absurd. Like the way the conversation transitioned was just like, who wrote this? B, how long did it take for you to write this? You know, and C, why are the actors reading it so like as if it's off of the script, like as if they're reading it on a piece of paper? And that was one of the things that bothered me. It just literally felt like they put that scene in that film to just get them over to the next scene, just to give them a little bit of information, because it was like, he was saying something, I play, or like, you know, I'm into music. Well, you know, I have a piano at my house. You should really come over sometime and play the piano. What? See, I knew you wouldn't agree, but Sydney, that's not how we transition into conversations when you're talking to.
If someone says they have music and you bring up a piano.
No. He's saying like I'm into music, or like something along those lines. But for her to immediately assume that this man knows how to play the piano and should come over sometime and to play it like that, it literally all happened in a span of 10 seconds. That is way too abrupt. It needs to flow better. There has to be a couple lines in between in there to insinuate like, I would like you to come over, or he needs to mention that like, yeah, you know, I'm good at the piano, or, you know, there's various instruments that I play. But to say that I'm into music leads you all the way to you need to come over, because again, the point of this conversation is we need to get him into the house. We need to get him, you know, to further along like their development, and then potentially like, I guess, whatever, without spoiling, falling for one another per se, and then to still cause an actual friction between the husband and the wife, and then now this man, right, like creating that love triangle. So I get why
spoil everything. Huh? Go on. It's fine. Go ahead. Go.
Oh, well, I apologize if you guys know the movie now. I didn't mean to do that. I just really wanted, for the sake of the argument, I wanted to say why it was so over the top. Yeah, so for me, that was one of the biggest cons for me of the movie. And it wasn't necessarily that scene. I just wanted to bring that I wanted to shed light on it and say that was my example as to why. There was a few scenes that kind of was like that, and it was just like, dang, oh, okay. And then the other one that I was going to say was, it just basically was Rosemary's Baby, and it was The Shining.
Rosemary's Baby and The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I mean, Rosemary's Baby I just watched in a hurry, so that movie's kind of a blur. Okay. The Shining I've seen a couple times. I guess. Maybe.
If The Shining is literally...
I mean, you're just using the house thing.
It's more than the house. It's also what's happened in the house, the history of the house. When you get to the house...
Was there that history in The Shining?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then when you get to the house...
Didn't pay attention.
Yeah, and then when you get to the house, it makes you do things, you know, that you maybe traditionally don't do. Now, I will say, without spoiling, the twist into this film is that it's not necessarily he's becoming something. It's kind of he already was, and things are starting to reveal. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Into my cons real quick. Mm-hmm. Nothing too crazy, but one thing, I mean, we've sat here mentioning ghost story, horror. Mm-hmm. As much as I said that, I do think that this film has like a bit of an identity crisis. So I think at one point, were we in a drama? Mm-hmm. Then it looked like a thriller. Then it looked like a horror. Mm-hmm. Like it's not, and maybe that's a good thing because it's not all the way horror, guys. Like it's not all the way. Mm-hmm. You really watching it. They sprinkle in these like ghosts in there, so you don't really know what you're watching. And that even goes for the time period we're in. Mm-hmm. I was confused. Are we like now? In the beginning, I'm like, oh, this is now times. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden, I'm looking at the cars and I'm looking around, and it's old time. But then they had some stuff
where it felt like it was 1800.
Yeah, and I'm like, where? I was like, what is the time period? So that's the identity crisis in itself. Like, literally, I thought it was 2020. It's starting now. Yeah. I'm dead serious. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, we back in the day.
Yeah.
I was
then
like,
it was 1980.
Cool. Then all of a sudden we in the, I don't know.
Yeah. Then I thought it was like 1850.
Jerusalem.
Yeah.
So that in itself was like, okay, throwing me off. Yeah. And then just the whole film itself, because it's not all the way ghost. It's not all the way horror. Mm-hmm. And my thing is just trying to be three things at once. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I guess you can do that.
Yeah.
You can have dramedies, which is drama and comedy. But you got to do it a little better because the horror, I say, is about 2%. Mm-hmm. 2 to 10% of the movie is horror. Mm-hmm. So if you're scary, I guess it's a good one to watch because it ain't really that scary. Yeah. So that's a positive. If you guys are like scared of horror movies, this ain't really horror. Yeah. But it's like a small percentage, and then the rest is thriller, drama. Sorry.
I think the horror that's within this is how real it can be.
Okay.
Like
the realism of
men can, I mean, not necessarily just men, but people can genuinely just be evil and like be deceitful and can come into somebody's life. And if they don't want you to know something, you ain't gonna know, and then when time reveals, these certain things, you just like, dang, I can't believe this is the person that I know. And like for us, it's all built up, right? We're just like, dang. Yeah. And we just keep getting more and more information and we feeling bad and then boom. And then think about the ending of this. And then think about this.
My cons still. But go ahead, go.
Okay. Well, go. Because I was.
Yeah, one of my cons is the ending. So my first one was the identity crisis with time period itself and then the whole story. But the ending was just like, all right. I didn't like the ending at all. And it's not because it wasn't scary enough. It's not because, I mean, I guess they tied it up, but it was just like, it was a cop-out. It was like, let's wrap it up, And some of the things that happened, I just did. And it's not because I don't agree with how it ended. I guess I just felt like it was cheap. It was a cheap ending, a cheap cop-out. So that's definitely a big con for me is the ending. You guys have to watch it and write in the comments because I think you guys will feel what we're feeling about the ending once you see it. You're just kind of like, all right. So that's one of my cons. It was just definitely that ending. But go ahead.
I think it also gives a nod to The Shining. Maybe I'll do it like
I know what you're talking about.
The tip of the cap. I'll do that.
Okay, now The Shining's coming out. Okay, I'm seeing it.
Yeah, I'm telling you that I was basically watching it and I was just like, dang. Okay, so that's what this is. But yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not gonna sit here and say it was an awful movie.
No, not at all.
We definitely have seen worse, without a doubt. Ooh. We just seen one like 2 weeks ago that was worse. So, there's a lot of potential within this film. And they just didn't bring it out. But the characters are also like kind of a little bit silly. I think mainly the husband. It was just like
I kind of liked his performance. Again, I thought. Yeah. I mean, the dude I don't like his character was made for you, obviously not to like him. But I think his performance. Whenever you feel something, the actor's doing their job.
Yeah.
So I definitely felt that, and then the sympathy with the one of the secondary characters and Amanda Seyfried's character you kind of feel that.
That's interesting that you say that though, because I felt like I didn't get too much of a connection with the characters.
The other ones?
No, with pretty much all of them. Yeah. I never was really like. I was never ever really. Like,
I was kind of invested in them.
I was never really ever invested, but I was gonna say that I can see where they put in certain things, right? Where they put in her disorder. They gave that to you within 3 minutes of the film. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I guess it's just the drama of it. And that's but
they also do that because those are the things where you people can relate to the character. Yeah. That's where you start to reach and cling on to your heroes. So I see the moments of where they insert them, but for me it was just I was never locked in where I'm like, yo, get out the house, get out it just.
No, I like the drama of their relationship. I think that's what hooked me. The drama of their relationship was cool. I liked how it played. I mean, it wasn't cool, but
no, I mean, not what they were going through was cool.
I like I like the drama there. Yeah. But we about to run out of battery here on the Slate Laced, so we're gonna get into these ratings.
We look to be doing okay, well, but you never know.
You know how that cannon do.
Real.
So Rotten Tomatoes, I think kind of agreed more with Blair here, and they gave it a little 30.
Oh, I was gonna say, hang on, before we even say it, I don't know any of the ratings.
You don't? Okay.
I didn't even look.
Well, they with you. They gave it a 38.
Oh.
38%.
Dang.
That's pretty low. They was not with it. But also, I was looking at some of the reviews real quick, and I think they kind of agreed with what you were saying, that it had so much potential in the beginning. Mm-hmm. I think everyone said that first hour was like hard hitting, and then everyone thought it was going to go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. But somewhere in that middle, they lost a lot of people, and that's what a lot of the reviews were saying. Like, within that middle piece is where people started like, okay.
I'll be trying to tell you, I know what I'm talking about,
And then, well, the people didn't really agree either. They gave it a 5.3 on IMDb. So all around, just not solid ratings. Mm-hmm. That begs the question, what is the Slate rate? Blair, 1 to 5 on entertainment.
Like 2.
A 2? Okay, that's fair. That's fair. On entertainment, 1 to 5, I'm gonna go 3.5. Because again, I wasn't bored. I was pretty much watching it like chilling. So, 1 to 5 originality. I think there's some unique pieces, so I gotta rate it accordingly.
That's the thing, though. I wanted to give that,
and it is based on a book, huh?
Yeah.
So. But that's you can't really
like there's
can
times
we fault them for that? I don't know.
I know, but there's times where I wanted to give that, like I was thinking about it, I was like, I want to give it a 4, but then at the same time I want to give it a 2 because it's like I get that there's unique, but you gotta really nail it down and execute it. Yeah. So I'm gonna go 2.5.
On the originality?
Yeah.
I
mean, it fell apart.
Yeah, it did. I mean, the middle. Well, the end, it fell apart. The middle, I was fine with. I didn't really understand, but the end fell apart for me. But now you brought The Shining up, and I'm making some connections at the end in my head.
I see Shining from beginning to end, just about.
So, I mean, I guess we can kind of deduct. Can we deduct?
Yeah. That's why I'm not at 4. I told you, yeah. I mean, it's Shining from beginning to end, to be real with you.
Okay.
It is,
I'm
Sydney.
Seeing pieces, but that's
there literally is the getting the opportunity to take the job. Mm-hmm. You bring your whole family over here.
Okay, you tell the whole story.
I'm just saying, if you've seen this, my bad, but if you've seen The Shining, you've seen this movie. Yeah. I'm just saying, yeah.
But all of our viewers should have seen The Shining. If you haven't, check it out. All right, my rating for originality, I'm going to give it, I like the unique take, though, of the ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's cool.
Cool. I'll tell you off camera what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And then maybe we should have deep dived this one, but anyway,
I know, but there's ghosts in The Shining too, though.
Yeah, mm-hmm. But I like I'll tell you, I'll go 3. Mm-hmm. I wanted to go a little higher, but I'm gonna go 3.
What you mean? You got a high Slate rate right now.
I got it at 6.5 out of 10.
You got that. You should check it out.
What you got it at 4?
Check it out.
But it's 4 out of 10, right? You said 2
and 2.
It's
4.5 because I gave it that 2.5.
Okay, 4.5. No, I think you should watch it. Yeah. Let's get into whether straightforward answer. People should watch it. Blair saying, take a nap instead?
Yeah. Nah, it's...
We're saying
the thing is, the potential is there. I love the artwork aspect of it, the artistry aspect of it. And I don't mean artistry execution with camera work and things like that, but the actual there's paintings in there and stuff that he
actual
painted. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I think
but then it turned out.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, no, don't watch it.
I say check it out. Mm-hmm. It's not. Look, it's gonna get the job done. I think that's where I'm at. Are you gonna be sitting there, nominating it for an Oscar? No,
I hope not.
But it's decently entertaining where you're not gonna be bored. Yeah, it's not one of the films where you're just gonna be checking your watch. That's what I'll say. And yeah, I mean, it's a unique storyline, so check it out. I think if you're scared of scary movies, this is definitely one to watch. Like we just said, it's not necessarily this hard hitting horror film. It's more of like this drama. Check it out. But maybe listen to Blair and don't. I don't know. Y'all make the decision and drop it in the comments whether you watched it or not. Blair, anything before we wrap here? What's coming in the next, couple weeks for the Slate Lace?
I don't know. We got more movies, I'm guessing.
Got more movies.
That one Monster looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, that looks interesting. But that's, I think it's like 2018, 2019.
And it's just now finally...
No, I remember when that came out, Sundance or something like that.
Oh, okay. And now it's popping up on Netflix or something? Oh, okay.
But yeah, we can definitely do that. No, we can do it and even deep dive. I feel like it's timely.
Oh, okay.
It's that timeliness.
Yeah, it is.
But it looks interesting as well. I saw that too. So yeah, we got a couple more movie reviews that we'll hop into. Shoes, we always got that on deck. That's coming up next week. We'll have some trailer reactions because some things are coming out. Shout out to A Quiet Place 2. Blair still got to see number 1.
Yes,
You're
I
slacking. Because I'm about to see that. That'll probably be my first movie back in theaters, even though I think it's coming out next month.
Okay.
But maybe I'll see something before then. But again, we got to hit a theater sometime.
We do.
We ain't really been since the panty. Nah. The panty hit us hard, and we've been at the house,
Yeah, we have.
But other than that, guys, that is it. That is it for us. Have a happy hump day. It is a Slate Laced gang. We're out.